There could be only two sounds heard from the hallways of Sir Reginald Hallgraves High School. One was the expansive ticking of the clock tower. The gears rotate at different speeds, but wherever you are within the school, you can always hear the sounds of the gears turning. Either it was just their imagination, or if you all in the school was filled with gears and clockwork. The other of the two sounds? It was the sound of uneven footsteps of the man currently in the main hallway. The school layout was fairly straightforward, with the main hallway and 8 branching hallway in T-shapes, expanding out on each side. The other 2 floors were laid out exactly identical. The man was currently limping unevenly. The man was breathing heavily as the impact from the unknown object had cut into his chest. He hadn't managed to get it out and fainted due to blood loss, but when he resumed consciousness, he started limping, almost marching like a zombie, toward the clock tower steps. Chapter 1. Well, that was boring as hell, man. My mate John is the stereotypical high schooler like me. My name is Jasper Clinton, pupil number 2035 of Sir Reginald Hallgraves High School. I glanced at my watch. It's nothing special, fancy just your bog standard rubber strap analog watch. But I seem to like things like that. I like to know the time wherever I am. I like numbers. In fact, mathematics was my favourite subject. Not that I would ever admit it, though. I would sound way too geeky. Anyway, it's 1:56, lunchtime. John is swaying drunkenly down the hallway. Know what I think? They should seriously consider hiring a new chemistry teacher. I almost fell asleep twice. Isn't that normal for you, whatever the subject? I replied, trying to stoke what people do. I don't think you even take away in PE. No idea you manage that, man.
I'm pretty sure you should stay awake and concentrate in classes, considering that you come to such a privileged school.
That was my other friend, Kate. She was kind of a tomboy. Privilege my ass, I said. This school's best selling point is that it's right next to a train station. He's got a point, John said.
Oh, forget it,
Kate moaned. This was the atypical banter that we shared on a day-to-day basis. Speaking of trains, I said, we will listen to the loud clangs and jots of the train passing through the station. By my watch, which I checked again, 2 o'clock Stratford. Stratford is the nearest station, about 2 minutes away, and with the time being 1:58, it would make sense. Lunch break is short, and the first of the 2 afternoon lessons passes normally. The second, however... 2 loud consecutive bangs, one after the other. The class stopped suddenly, and the students near the door got up and opened it, me included. Outside in the hallway there were 2 men. Wait, no, sorry, it was empty. For a split second there outside the door I swore I saw 2 men. Must have been hallucinating as my eyes adjusted from the brightness of the classroom to the hallway. The sun was setting already, casting the hallway into an orange-tinged glow. Just at that moment the school intercom burst into life, making everybody jump. Students in T5, please return to your classrooms as normal. The 2 loud noises were just the building's type settling. Please don't be alarmed, this is perfectly normal for a building of this particular age and particular season. Even though the headmaster continued to drone on through the intercom, I stopped listening. Those 2 consecutive bangs were not from the building settling, as he had said. 1 bang, maybe, but 2, one after the other. From what I remember correctly, replaying the memories while looking at the second hand for my watch. Exactly 3 seconds. Those were not buildings settling. They had to be something mechanical to be exactly 3 seconds from the start of the first to the start of the second. If you haven't already realised it, I have quite a good memory. Sort of like a tape recorder. I can play out my memories in sequence in real time. That might be why I like my watch so much. Chapter 2. 15, 30, 45. 1, 2, 3, 4 tongs. 4:45 is the time the school ends every day, so Reginald Hallgraves High School. The teacher had asked me to see him at the end of classes, after our discussion about the dismal amount of homework I'd been handing in. Oh, don't get the wrong idea, I'm not a delinquent or anything. I just put all my effort in the subjects that matter, and basically ignore the useless ones. All that was left in the classroom was John and Kate, who were waiting for me. There was also the class manager, Silvia Rutherford, and her boyfriend, Alexander Richmond. 5 students, including myself. We were probably the only ones left in the school at that point.
Come on,
Kate demanded.
the train leaves at 5.
I glanced at my watch. Still 10 minutes then. We slowly wandered down the hall out of our tea section and into the main hallway. The sound made us all stop.
What was that?
Sylvia said, clearly frightened.
It was the same as in the classroom earlier,
Kate continued. The building settling? John next. No, it's too exact. 2 sequences, only 3 seconds apart, I said. And it came from... Alexander continued. The clock tower! We all said at once. Hey, why don't you do some investigating? Kate showed signs of visible delight from her own statement. But the train leaves in 8 minutes, Sylvia protested. That's 7 minutes of investigating. Want to get on the train? John took Kate's side of the argument. I personally was surprised that Silvia and Alexander didn't just wander off. Even though Silvia protested, it was clear Alexander wanted to investigate. Well, it can't hurt now, can it? Alexander also leaned into Kate's argument. Fine. But just 7 minutes, you hear? We all set off towards the clock tower. The wood squeaked under our footsteps and the atmospheric sunset lighting did nothing to help. Sylvia was visibly shaking. I didn't find it scary at all, or at least not enough to show it. Other than the creaky footsteps, there was no noise at all. Silence. No reassuring classroom chatter, no conversation to eavesdrop into. Silence engulfed us all. When we reached the clock tower base, I glanced up. The bottom of the stairs ascending into the sky looked like a never-ending spiral of orange light and shadow. The sound of the footsteps stopped, and there was complete silence. Two more bangs, this time a faint cry, definitely emanating from above. It sounded more like an adult male, but it was too far to recognise an owner. Everybody jumped at the bangs as they had done before. I think he even made me shiver, but that might have been my imagination. Alexander took charge. I'm going up there to have a look. The rest of you stay here. Try to comfort Sylvia for a bit. If it's time, then leave without me. Alexander, don't! Sylvia shouted. She was sweating massively, maybe in a state of shock or horror. I'll be fine, wait here. I'll be right back down with some answers. And believe me, he was. Chapter 3. As his footsteps faded, silence overtook us again. Only the sound of my own breathing, which had become rather ragged and heavy, and my heartbeat was all I could hear. Everyone okay? I asked. But just as I did so, everyone jumped. Yeah, fine, John said, clearly not his happy sound. Was he scared too? The only sound I could hear, and I could hear it now, as my ears adjusted to the silence. Well, silence what I thought I could hear. Nothing. But there was a sound. A constant, rhythmic grinding of metal gears, like a wind-up clock, not ticking exactly, but gears moving against gears in a rhythmic pattern. It seemed to make time feel eternal. Silence was broken by another 2 loud bangs. Another groan. This time, the voice was recognisable as Silvia's boyfriend, Alexander. Footsteps resonated from above, and we all ended up staring upwards into the light and shadow spiral. Then we saw something, an object, slowly getting larger and larger. A black silhouette. Was it a bag? As much as I made an excuse, I could clearly tell what the object was. Alexander's body was falling down to the hard wooden ground below. Alexander's body hit the floor, blood spattered everywhere, and Silvia screamed. Chapter 4. We were all stunned. Once Silvia finished her theme, we were stuck in complete stillness. Staring. Just staring. Staring at what was left of Alexander, which wasn't much. His impact with the floor has caused his whole front half of his body to compact, breaking every single one of his bones, even his neck, which had snapped completely. His lifeless, bloody head rolled lightly around the floor. His nose almost flattened, his eyes bloodshot. He was definitely dead. When we broke out of our shock-caused trance, we were also scared as the reality of what had just happened crashed into our brains. We all ran off down the hallway, breathing too hard to scream. The clock tower bell started chiming. "Oh crap!" I shouted. "The train!" Everyone read that we needed to crash the train home. We ran down the hallway and headed to the door, but we all knew it was too late. We listened dismally to the sound of the train departing as the clock finished chiming. "We were too late," I said. Silvia, by this point, was not only panting heavily, she looked completely mad. Terrified, in fact. She looked slightly ill. "Silvia? Are you okay?" I asked. Silvia glared at me. Her eyes were shaking like mad. "Okay? Nobody's okay. Alexander is dead!" "Let's go now. We need to think sensibly." "No, you have some respect for my feelings towards him. I loved him, you know." And with that, she fell to the floor. She had fainted. "Kate, what shall we do?" John asked.
How should I know?
Kate shouted, clearly also distressed, both of them. "We need to tell somebody, a teacher, the headmaster maybe?" "That would be most sensible," John reasoned.
"Yeah,"
said Kate softly.
"What about Silvia?"
"Well, the normal thing to do would be take her to the infirmary," John said. They all stared at the ground and headed towards the infirmary. Chapter 5. The sun was almost completely out of view now. The orange light changed to darkness around us. We laid Silvia down in the infirmary bed. Unfortunately, the teacher was missing. Then something happened that made everybody jump. "Oh, sorry," I said and picked up my mobile. Glancing at the screen, I could tell the person calling was my father. "Hello?" I said, trying to act casual. "Hi there, son. Where are you? Did you miss the train?" The line was bad, almost scary. "Hi, I just missed the train. I'll catch the next one, don't worry." "You're breaking up, son. I'll call you back." I let out a sigh, and John, Kate, and me walked out of the infirmary. Kate went back in the door.
"I'll catch up in a minute,"
she said. She probably just wanted to cry. Lights that sound like bad movie quotes aside, we walked down the hallway towards the headmaster's office. He's probably the only teacher left in the school at this point, unless you count the janitors, but they come later on. I'd be lying if I said I didn't feel scared. The atmosphere was strange, not normal nighttime blackness, but a strange purple illumination. Like the night was shining, emanating a light that didn't have a source, shining darkness.
Wait a second.
Kate spoke up as she rejoined the group. Both jumped as she broke the silence. It was quite shocking to see how scared we all were, just walking through the school. It was obvious she'd been crying.
How are we gonna get home? You missed the train, right?
My dad can come pick us up, I suggested. That is, if the connection is good enough. What about your parents? John continued. My dad could come pick us up right now if I asked him. I have a better connection on my phone as well. He stated he took his phone out of his pocket. Large image of a red battery with the words, "Please recharge," stated in bold white letters. "Damn!" John shouted. Do you know his number? You could use my phone. Not off by heart, John interrupted me dismally. Earth turned to look at Kate. I left mine at home, she said simply. Thanks for the help, John tried a joke. Didn't get much of a reaction. With what we had just experienced, I think it's probably safe to talk calmly and sensibly. But the thing that the person I just talked to, maybe for the second time ever, just died and won't ever talk again. I didn't even know him. Goodness knows how Silvia feels. I don't feel the same about that clock tower. Chapter 6. The door stood in front of us like a hungry giant. The words "Headmaster's Office" were stated on the door. Nobody wanted to interrupt the silence. I shivered upon realizing that the sun had now completely set, yet the building was still lit up by the flickering old-fashioned light bulbs. But even the shadows seemed to light up with the strange purple aura. The "something's not right" feeling is really, really powerful at this point. But no matter what the lights were up to, we did need to report what we had seen. I stepped to the door, readied my fist, and knocked 2 times. "Come in!" groaned the familiar voice of the old headmaster. As the door creaked open, the image of the headmaster sitting by his desk was a familiar, reassuring one. Me and Minache had a semi-relationship together. When the class said I don't care about sending me to his office, he usually just states that it's part of his job to give us a well-rounded education. And if I dislike certain subjects and spend my time improving on others, then it's all the better for me. It's a bit of a strange attitude, but I think he knew that I was a lost cause after the 3rd time around. I stated my intention as clear as day to him, and I think he understands. Nothing he can say will change me. He's quite old, maybe in his 60s, grey hair, long dark eyebrows, long wrinkles. He isn't the positive attitude headmaster he used to be, not anymore. I heard from some other teachers that he used to be really kind and energetic, but no longer. He let out a long, drawn-out sigh and looked up at us. Sir, I'll get straight to the point. One of your students, Alexander Richmond, is dead. The headmaster jumped. Kate let out a weep when I mentioned his name. Stating it so clearly may have not been the great idea after all, but at least we did it. He could tell by my expression this wasn't a joke. I wish it was. We all do. Where is he now? He demanded, almost alarmed. At the bottom of the clock tower, his girlfriend Silvia Witherspoon is in the infirmary in shock. The headmaster got up from behind his desk. I need to call the authorities. They can call the undertakers. We need to stay strong throughout all this. Even as he said this, it looked like he was about to cry. I don't blame him, of course, but seeing this look of true sorrow and despair on his face, it looked different from the boring expression. Shockingly different, in fact. Something else was different, too. The lights. They seemed dimmer than before, not turning off, but just dimmer. With a glance out of the window, the sky seemed illuminated with a purple glow. No stars were visible. I realised that I got confixed with the window and looked at my watch. 5:08. Come to think of it, it's summer, right? Sun shouldn't set in 5 at summer. Just as I realised, I looked out the window intrigued. I saw the sun, still fully visible on the horizon. It was shining brightly. So why was the school so dark? Headmaster's footsteps had, by now, disappeared. Is there something the matter? Kate looked at me, clearly worried. Just, it's dark now, right? Yeah, the sun set ages ago, Kate said, unsure of the point I had. Did it? She glanced out the window, then looked back and did a double take, ending up focusing on the window. Her view then rapidly changed from the inside of the building to the sun on the horizon. John saw it too. It scared them so much. Me too. It's a feeling like a sixth sense. The feeling when your mind is arguing against what your eyes are seeing. It just felt wrong. It's the kind of feeling that makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up tall. The school was enveloped in a purple darkness, almost like mist. Like driving through thick fog at night, but the fog was purple rather than white. I realised the lights were still on, brightly, and that I could barely see 2 meters in front of me. "That's just not right," Kate said. Or rather, Kate's disembodied voice said. I could no longer see her. "Kate, where are you?" Where did you go?" "That's what I'm asking you." I'm just the other side of the room." I headed towards the sound of her voice, leaving John in the mist. Oh, there she was. I could see her now. "John, could you come over here?" John didn't reply. I could see his silhouette on the other side of the room. He wasn't moving. "John?" Kate called out into the stagnant tear. Me and her exchanged glances. John remained still. I extended my hand to Kate. She took it gladly. John's silhouette became clearer. Another step. The floor creaked unnaturally loudly. We could almost make out his features in the silhouette now. Another step. Then another. 2 bangs emanated from behind us. Me and Kate turned around. There was nothing there. We turned back. John's silhouette was nowhere to be seen. Chapter 7. It didn't fade away. It didn't gradually get smaller. It didn't fall to the ground. It was just gone. Not there anymore. John had just disappeared. He didn't make a sound. I didn't think he even walked away. We would have heard the footsteps. "John!" Kate called out. No reply. "John!" Me this time. No reply from the shadowy mist. "We should go back to the station and wait for the next train." "What's the time?" At this, I looked at my watch. 5:10. So, 5 minutes? Yeah. Okay. Conversation slowed to a crawl. We left the office and started walking down the hallway. Even in the mist, we were alright walking down the hallway. The stairs, however, are a bit more of a problem. Kate was very close to tripping over a few times, but we made it down alright. It was only a short walk to the front door, but outside it was a different story. Meanwhile, in the infirmary, Silvia had just woken up. The image of Alexander's dead body engraved in her mind. She was seeing so many delusions she wasn't sure whether she was actually awake. Honestly, she wasn't even sure what she could do. She couldn't feel her arms or her legs. She wasn't sure of anything anymore. This single event had shattered her image of reality. She wasn't even sure what was going on. Where was she? What was going on? The blackness was worse outside. As the station's silhouette loomed on the horizon, the setting sun, even though they were almost in pitch blackness, and the reassuring blobs of the main school building were now nowhere to be found. "Let's sit on the platform and wait," Kate suggested. "Okay," I agreed. I'm unsure whether the strange dark fog was only engrossing the school, but it wouldn't reach Tadgerswick. That's where I live, by the way. 24 Westcott Street, Tadgerswick. We sat down on the bench. We could only barely make out the edge of the platform in the fog, as I stared at my watch. 5:12, 58, 59, 60, 5:13:01, 5:13:02. Still 2 minutes to go. The seconds felt like hours and the minutes felt like years, as we sat, listening to the wind gale through the station. When I forgot my coat this morning, I felt like an idiot, but the fact that the wind was blowing right through me now was even worse. I soon realised that Kate and me were still holding hands, however. After what we had been through, what could we have done? 5:14. 1 minute. Kate was sobbing now. I couldn't say I wasn't completely tearless either. We looked at each other. Tears rolling down each other's faces. And then back at the tracks. The sound of the train approaching took me with a start. It got louder and louder, and the wind brushed against my face as the train reached its peak. But the train was now making me furious. The wind and the sound told me the train had stopped, but as far as my eyes were aware, there never was any train. The train then started up again, this time twisted and jerked like an old tape recording. It grew louder and louder like the screams of every one of the Devilstone style feet. The air of the train then brushed up against me and creaked, but I could still see no train. The noise was so loud it felt like my head was going to explode. It clutched onto me tightly, gripped my back, and suddenly it stopped. Faded to complete silence in an instance of a second. Not even that. It was immediate. What was that? Asked Kate. I looked back at her blankly. What's going on? She said. By now, Silvia could feel her body returning to her as she got over the shock. She too had realised the unnatural dark fog surrounding her. She was scared, of course she was. She sat up on the bed and looked around. The room was empty. That was both reassuring and yet even more scary. It was recognisably the infirmary. She got up off the bed and wandered towards the door. She reached out for the handle and opened it. Outside was the corridor she expected to be empty. And it was. Except for John, who stood looming in the hallway. John, she said, almost relieved. John didn't reply. John? She said again. Yeah, what's up? Where are the others? Oh, I don't know. What's the time? 10. 10? It's that late? Yeah, what's up? He said again. Silvia looked at his silhouette. Oh, I don't know. He was saying the same lines again. 10. John? Yeah, what's up? John, are you okay? Oh, I don't know. John? 10. It is. Yeah, what's up? He's looping? Oh, I don't know. 10. 10? What's 10? Yeah, what's up? It seems somehow significant? Oh, I don't know. I'll be going now, John. 10. Yeah, what's up? Oh, I don't know. 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 John's voice faded away as Silvia walked down the hallway towards the station. Something's wrong, I said. Of course something's wrong. We just heard and felt a train but saw no sight of it. It's dark, yet the sun's still up in the sky. Kate was flustered. Was the train invisible? Was there even any train? It felt and sounded like there was, but it seemed weird. I glanced back at my watch. We should go back to the school, Kate suggested. Agreed, I said. We got up from the bench, put an instant behind us, and headed to the school. The headmaster entered the numbers 999 into his mobile phone and pressed the call icon. "999, what is your emergency?" "Hello, we have an accident or death. One of my students, Alexander Richmond." "I'm sorry, I didn't make that out. Can you repeat that, please?" The phone cut off. The headmaster grumbled and stared at the corpse at his feet. Silvia was waiting for the darkness, only able to see about a metre in front of her. Not even that. She was leaning against the wall, feeling her way along the wall, outside the way of navigation. She saw two silhouettes in the darkness, getting clearer. She stopped. They continued to approach. Who is that?" Silvia cried. "Oh, it's just us." My voice came out of the distance, and the silhouettes cleared into the forms of Kate and me. "Where did you go?" Silvia was full of questions. "The train station," Kate replied. "However, the train..." A sentence tailed off. "Wasn't there." I finished it. Just then the announcement system fired up. Can all the students on campus, please come to us, please. Ah! The announcement cut off. Chapter 8. We ran along the hallway, Silvia, Kate and me. Have you seen John, Silvia?" Kate asked. I'm not sure. Not sure? Not sure? Well, yes, I saw him, but I don't think it was him. What do you mean? He was looping? Saying the same three things over and over. What things? Well, he said, yeah, what's up? Oh, I don't know, and 10 over and over in that order. Where was he? Outside the infirmary. Well, he's not there now. At that point, we had passed the infirmary and our fronted once toward the headmaster's office. When we reached the second floor, we heard it. Thunk! 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 The door sprang open and closed in what little breeze there was in the building. And unfortunately, only got louder as we could tell which door it was. The plaque reading headmaster's office swung wearily at a 45-degree angle on the swaying door. The horrifying smell was like a burnt roast chicken, but much, much worse. The builder's anticipation had got me and my companions scared. We loitered outside the door as I heard another creak thunk. We need to go in, I said. I know, said Kate. Creak. I placed my hand in the way to break the cycle, and the lack of a thunk rang through our ears. The door let out another echoing creak as I pushed it finally open, revealing a scene of horror. The headmaster sat in his chair as he never had before. Two glinting objects tinted in his blood extruded from either side of his head, which was lying on the desk. Paperwork all around the desk, tests and work to be marked, once sorted into neat piles, were scattered everywhere, most on the floor. They were all splattered in blood. However, other than the corpse, the room was empty. I removed my hand from the door and let it swing shut one final time with a final creak and thunk. We were alone now. The teachers that were inside the building were left by now. Unless... the staff room? What? Kate replied. If there were any other teachers in the school, that's where they would be, right? I suppose so, Silvia spoke up. We left the door closed, the silence somehow more disturbing than the noises before it. Before we could start walking, we heard a voice.
You really shouldn't be hanging around school after home time.
You could get hurt, you know.
The voice was unrecognisable to all of us, like a whisper on the wind. However, the next one was, yes, I know. That was the headmaster's voice. But he's dead. Something was happening. Something bad. Me, Kate, and Silvia shivered. End of part 1.